Hello everybody, welcome to today's Facebook Live, and today we're doing the things that I would have done at Killearn School Assembly, and it's actually the story we would have done at Hertford Rudloe last week. So today a story, and then in the comments I'll put some suggestions for activities, more of that in a minute. So welcome to everybody, and I hope you enjoy the story. It's from our book that we use to base our syllabus on, the Jesus Storybook Bible, written by Sally Lloyd-Jones. So we begin our story. It's called Washed with Tears. One night Jesus went to dinner at an important leader's house. The important leader invited his important friends. They were all just sitting down to eat when a woman walked in. She was not invited, but everyone knew who she was. "Who does she think she is?" the guests whispered. "How dare she?" The woman was a big sinner, and everyone knew it. It was easy to see, after all, she had broken the rules and done bad things. The woman walked straight up to Jesus. She was carrying very expensive perfume. Now, the thing about perfume back then was that it didn't come in bottles, it came in jars, and the jars were made out of precious stone like alabaster. But here's the catch. The jars didn't have a lid or a stopper or anything, so the only way you got the perfume out was if you broke the jar. Once you broke the jar, that was it. You had no more. Most people didn't use perfume because it was too precious. They just kept it on the shelf and looked at it. So these are the pictures. This is the jar of perfume, and these are the important people at the dinner looking scandalised that the woman has come in. So you see, this perfume was her most precious thing in all the world. It was her treasure. The woman knelt down before Jesus like he was a king. She held Jesus' feet in her hands and started to cry. Her tears fell onto Jesus' feet, washing them. She kissed his feet and dried them with her long, dark hair. And then she did something very strange. She broke the jar and poured the perfume all over his feet. Everyone gasped. "What a waste! Over someone's feet! Such expensive perfume!" It smelt like lilies in a summer field. Jesus looked at the woman and he smiled at her. What she had done was the most wonderful thing. Just as Samuel had anointed David, God's true king, all those years before, so this woman had anointed Jesus, not with oil, but with her tears. Or you can see in this picture, you can see the lady and the perfume and the men looking scandalised again. The important people were cross. They thought Jesus should not be kind to this woman. "That woman is a sinner," they grumbled. "We're the good ones." And it's true, they did look good from the outside. After all, they were keeping all the rules. But Jesus could see inside people, and inside their hearts. Jesus saw they did not love God or other people. They were running away from God, and they thought they didn't need a rescuer. They thought they were good enough because they kept the rules. But sin had stopped their hearts from working properly, and their hearts were hard and cold. "This woman knows she is a sinner," Jesus told them. "She knows she'll never be good enough. She knows she needs me to rescue her. That's why she loves me so much. You look down on this woman because you don't look up to God. She is sinful on the outside, but you are sinful on the inside." The important people shook with anger. Jesus turned to the woman and smiled. "Your sins are forgiven," he said. "You trusted me and God has rescued you." "Who does Jesus think he is?" the important people whispered. "Only God can forgive sins." they didn't believe Jesus was God's son. The more Jesus loved people and helped them, the more the important people and leaders hated him. They were afraid people would follow Jesus instead of them. They were jealous and angry enough to kill Jesus. So this is Jesus talking to the woman, saying that her sins were forgiven. And this are the angry men. Now they're going to appear in the story a bit more as we get up towards Easter. It's a bit of an odd story. It's got doesn't really have an ending in that way, because this is what happens and we've got to wait for a bit more of the story to come. But for the woman, it was really important. Jesus valued her gift to him, what she had. He valued that she knew she wasn't good enough, and he valued the gift that she gave him. So that's our story for today. Now, I've been thinking about what activities you might like to try to do. I'm going to put on the Facebook in the comments some activities, things you can print out, things you might like to try. And the Duplo challenge for today, or the Lego challenge, depending on what are able to do, is to make a perfume jar out of Duplo or Lego. So I have made one as an example. I spent a few minutes doing this earlier. You can see this is my Duplo perfume jar, and it's kind of rounded. It's got a lovely finial at the top. Any resemblance to the radar on the Duplo airport set, just a mere coincidence. So this is my Duplo perfume jar, but I'm going to put some links to some colouring and some activities that you could try to think about things that you about the story. There's a link to a crossword and a word search, some colouring, and maybe some smell tests, because the perfume would have smelt wonderful. The whole house was filled with the smell of the perfume. That's what it says in the Bible, that the whole house was full of this really sweet perfume. So I think that's me for just now. Have a look on the list of activities you can try. Feel free to post a picture of anything that you do for the activities. It'd be great to see you getting involved, and I'll be back in a while. Thank you. Bye everybody.